Alright you lot, I hope you're all well. I'm just going to do like a real quick intro to this vid, but if you want to skip my waffly bit, you can just go to this time, that's when the main shooting starts. But essentially, what I do in this video is head out with the new Sigma 18-50mm 2.8 zoom lens and just go for a little stroll with it around my local little hood, if you like, just to give it a bit of a test really for the main purpose that I bought it for, which was just as like a walk around lens, just as more sort of convenience over having to switch out prime lenses. I thought this lens would, you know, suit those purposes pretty well. On this shoot, I was pretty much in aperture priority mode and at f4 for, I'd say, pretty much the whole shoot. There's a couple of close-up shots in there where I go down to 2.8 just to get an idea of the bokeh and separation, you know, and a couple of shots at the skate parky bit I'm at f8 because I wanted to get more of the shot in focus, but I'd say 90% of the shots are all at f4. And the other purpose of this video is to test out my new presets, which are now available on my website. Shameless plug, I hate doing that, but yet they're kind of film emulation. Actually, no, sorry, they're not film emulation presets. They're not really designed to emulate specific film stocks. I know there's plenty of other people out there that have already produced presets like that. I guess they're more just inspired by film presets, if you like. They've certainly got a film look to them, but I've just sort of done my own thing with them. I've just tweaked them to, you know, what looks pleasing to my eye. Hopefully it's pleasing to yours as well. So without further ado, let's jump in. Jump in, you know what I mean? So I'll kick things off with a few shots of this Merc down the road to me that this bloke seems to have been doing up, or trying to do up, on his drive for, to be honest, I think it's been there for about 6 months and I can't really notice anything that's changed on it, but it made for a good couple of warm-up shots. I've got a bit of a newfound fascination with the area that I live in. I think like a few years ago, what I potentially would have deemed as being kind of a bit mundane and a bit boring or whatever, you know, I'm now kind of seeing with new eyes and seeing it as a bit more of a kind of photographic opportunity and just trying to see, yeah, I guess just the opportunities that are all around where I live, which I'm sure all of us have got, but can easily be overlooked, you know. If you're anything like me, I look at other YouTubers that live in exotic places in the world or from Canada and they've got all these amazing lakes around them and all that kind of stuff, and I think like I've not got that around me. My photos are never going to be as good as theirs, and you know, to a degree they're probably not going to be, but it still doesn't mean that I bet probably all of you out there have still got plenty of interesting places, locations literally on your doorstep which just need a little bit more exploring. This is probably one of my most favourite little routes I do near me. I can kind of leave the back of my house and head off around these trails, and it's about a 3-mile walk that I take bow on all the time, and I've been meaning to bring my camera along for a long time now, so today is the day that I thought I'd do it. As I mentioned earlier, I'm using my new preset pack on all these images that are just kind of film inspired really. They're not supposed to emulate specific film stocks before you all go mad at me in the comments. They're just kind of, you know, they're based around a film look that, you know, are just tweaked to a look that I like. If it's a look that you like, you'll be pleased to hear they're all available now on my website, and I'll leave a link to them down in the description. Shameless plug out of the way, let's crack on with the rest of the video. I've been wanting to get a shot of these garage doors now for a while. I don't know why, because I'm a bit of a weirdo. It wasn't ideal lighting, so I just had to massively underexpose it so that I could just bring all them shadows back in post. In all honesty, I've gone out at probably the worst point in the day, like 12 to 1 o'clock midday, so I've got all these kind of harsh shadows and sort of harsh lighting to work with. Should really have gone out in the morning or in golden hour, but there we go. I took this shot at 50mm 2.8 just to get an idea of the kind of bokeh you could get. If you haven't seen it already, I did make a video comparing this lens to the 3 Sigma primes, which I'll leave a little you know, link up in the corner and down in the description. But it was nice just to head out for a bit of a kind of aimless walk, to be honest, just to have a little test and a little play around with the lens at different focal lengths, different apertures. Although, to be honest, I think for most of the shots on this walk, I was generally at f4 for most of them, apart from some of the close-up ones. I went down to 2.8. But yeah, generally I'd have said f4. And I must say, I've really enjoyed it just as a walk-around lens, just having that convenience of the zoom, really. In these kind of street walking scenarios where I'm not relying on that 1.4 aperture, I think it's just a really handy lens to have. I'm not entirely sure why I took a picture of a skip. I think I just thought the colours and that might look quite cool. I really like that overexposed portrait kind of look, and I'd have loved for this shot to have had some kind of cool American muscle car on the drive, but you know, I've got to work with what I've got. I also love the way these guys seem to have perfectly colour-coded their plant pots to the colour of their car. In these next couple of shots, I just tried to take advantage of the alleyway and use it to subframe the house on the opposite side of the road. Sneaky little snap of this fella sorting his motor out. And in this shot, I've tried to go for that symmetrical Wes Anderson kind of look. So if you've made it this far, well done. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope it's inspired a few of you to go and grab your camera and head out there and get some shots. Like I said at the beginning of the vid, you know, I'm more than convinced that we've all got cool, photogenic locations around us that we can go and shoot. You just got to get out there and find them. They're there. I'm 99% sure they're there for all of us. So yeah, please let me know what you thought of the vid in the comments. Also think about liking and subscribing. All those things really do help the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.